everybody. Welcome to the Image and Wire show. My name is Jake Fishman. I'm the host of the show and the editor of the Image and Wire. And today I'm really excited to have Paul Shumway from Novarad with us. Paul is a vice president over there, responsibilities both for customer success and Novarad's partners, which gives him a really unique view of kind of what radiology needs from their PACS providers and also just what they need overall. And he's also been at Novarad for 20 years, which this combination of role and history really gives him a good understanding of kind of where we've been and where we're going. And without further ado, Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's really good to have you here. We'll just jump right into it. So we started talking about, that 20-year history at Novarad, and maybe you can tell us about that and some of the big events and themes that you saw kind of along the way that kind of dictated where radiology is now.
When I started 20 years ago, things were a lot different than they are today. I remember when the big things in PACS, people wanted to know if you had certain features that, no one would even question today. And I saw it through the 20 years. I saw our development of risk and PACS and many other products. Novarad's a fairly innovative company. And so over the years, we've been really creative in solving customer problems. We came out with a lot of firsts. We would see a customer problem and we would say, okay, let's solve it. Let's put this feature in our product. Now, of course, today everybody has all those features. It's not a question anymore, but we had a lot of firsts. I had the opportunity over the years to work with a lot of customers and got a lot of feedback. Also got to work on a lot of industry challenges, go-to-market strategies. Before Novarad, I was in marketing, and it was not in healthcare. So it's been a different thing for me for the past 20 years being in healthcare, and I still done a lot of marketing. It's been fun to watch Novarad's growth. In the industry itself, in radiology, there's been tons of changes. As you know, image study size has increased dramatically. Archive capabilities improved 100-fold. CTs do more slices. Advanced visualization tools are just the thing now. They've greatly improved and increased. I think one of the big changes over the past 10 years that really affects a lot of our customers is hospitals are now expected to provide better patient care at less cost. And so there's some challenges that go with that. Workflows have changed to accommodate more imaging. There's shorter wait time required now, staff shortages. COVID-19 brought on a whole bunch of new changes. Now the patients aren't supposed to wait in the radiology waiting room because they don't want to be in the crowd. And so there's been a lot of changes, and it's been fun to see it. It's been fun to work in this department. I mentioned that I visited a lot of customers over the years, literally hundreds. I mean, I've got a lot of frequent flyer miles over the last 20 years. But radiology departments and imaging centers have changed a lot. I think they have a lot of pressure to keep up with technology, because if they don't, their competitor down the road are going to get the patients. So they have to keep up. They have to change. They have better modalities now, faster turnaround times, more diagnostic tools, patient portals. So yeah, it's been quite a ride. I've had fun for the past 20 years.
Oh, and got some frequent flyers along the way too. So,
yeah.
So good job. So now when we look at your role now, both on the partner side and the customer success side, what are they telling you? What are some of the big needs? So you talked earlier about kind of the requests along the way. What are they kind of asking for now, or what are the problems they're trying to solve?
Yeah, so it's a good question. As VP of customer success, my team and I are charged with making sure our customers use the product, but we also do a lot with workflows and helping them with their problems. And things are a lot more challenging now than they used to be. And we have to give them products that help them be very efficient and help them run patients through their department quickly. And they have to, everything's mobile now. Patients want to see all their information uh, so we have close to 1,000 customers, and they're different size of hospitals, imaging centers, clinics, all different types of facilities that we go to. So we see many different workflows, and we see a lot of different types of challenges. Our team tries to help them do things the most efficiently as they can. Sometimes that involves just helping their workflow. Sometimes it involves training. Sometimes it involves creations of new products, which we've done over the years. As we looked at workflows and the quality of patient care as it relates to imaging, we've seen a big need to be able to share images more easily. The ideal solution would be to basically put everything in the cloud, in a secure cloud, very easily, and have patients and physicians get it anywhere, anytime. And that's why we came up with Cryptochart. Cryptochart is a direct result of us working with our customers, trying to solve their problems and help them be more efficient.
So how is Cryptochart used?
So let me answer that, Jake, if it's okay. Before I answer that, let me just talk for a minute about the need for a product like Cryptochart, okay?
Okay.
Because it came about because of some specific challenges in the industry. The challenge to share images, for example, trust to other sites, firewall limitations, agreements between sites. Hospitals often want to share images with each other, and all these things get in the way. IT departments, user password management, routing limitations. And then another big one today is the CD costs and usability. CDs or DVDs are what most people use still, and many computers don't even play CDs anymore. To burn a CD in the hospital takes the staff quite a bit of time, and they either have to write on it with a Sharpie, or they have a printer, which often has issues. CDs have size limitations, compatibility problems, and no mobile viewing capability. So anyway, that's why Cryptochart or a product like it has to be here. So Cryptochart, here's what it is. It's a piece of software that a hospital or imaging center downloads from our website. It works with any packs. It simply routes the images to a secure cloud and allows easy access to the patients or physicians to those images from anywhere, or other healthcare facilities, right? Now, one can get the images on any device. They don't have to download anything. They don't have to worry about device compatibility. So there's multiple ways to access the images. For example, a patient could leave the imaging center, go out to their car, and scan the QR code with their phone and see the images right there in their car. For a referring physician, they could call them and give them a code and a website, and they could get them and look at them, or they could text them. We have a short code that is secure. It only lasts for 300 seconds, and they could text them that, and they could get it. I recently had an MRI done, and I went to a facility that used Cryptochart. When I walked out the door, they gave me a QR code, excuse me. I went home and I scanned it with my phone and I showed it to my wife. And then my son's, but we don't know what we're looking at. So it was just pretty pictures. But my son's a doctor, so I called him, and over the phone, I gave him the website and the access code. Within 1 minute, he was looking at my images. And then when I went to my referring physician, I gave them the website and the QR code. And by the time the doctor came in the room, the staff had my images on the computer. That's how it works. No CDs, no DVDs, no problem. It was simple. So let me talk about, if it's okay, some of our installations. We've been doing this we've had it actually officially out for about a year, starting with beta sites, but we have quite a few installations. It's been installed in hospitals and imaging centers and clinics. Some of them have our packs and some don't. So we've been able to try both. One example is we have a customer who's been a customer for a long time, a very large imaging center radiology group, and they burn a ton of CDs. I mean, I think it's like 500 a month. And so they spend a lot of time burning CDs. They have their fair amount of problems of people not being able to open them, or somehow not being able to get them to the right place, having to hire couriers. So they started using Cryptochart quite some time ago, and they've been able to burn about 70% less CDs than they used to burn, which is huge for them, and they love it. And then the Cryptochart has a system monitor which they love. It allows them to look at printer status, system status, and give them some options. Another example is a big hospital customer we have, and they used to use a product that wasn't a CDD DVD product, but just an image share product, and it was kind of heavy on administrative and password management, and so they've loved Cryptochart because there's none of that. It's just a simple product. They say it's a much more efficient solution. So, our experience has been good. Everybody we show Cryptochart to, they love it.
Is there a certain type of hospital or imaging center or other type of practice who, when you see their current workflows, or when they look at Cryptochart, it just makes perfect sense for them?
Yeah, that's a good question. Really, Cryptochart is for anybody who wants to share images, which is basically everybody. But it especially helps them if they're a little bit larger, because that's when they have the volume. If they're only burning 20 CDs a month, a really small place, they're not going to see that much efficiency gain. But anything over, I'd say, 50 CDs, DVDs a month, or if they have to work with another hospital, if they work very closely with another hospital, so most facilities are going to need a product like this. What we're doing now with our regular packs is we just include Cryptochart with it, because why would anybody want to buy a packs that nowadays that burns CDs? And then just one more thing I thought about is there's other products out there that use QR codes to share images. I think we were the first, but there's been a couple of people jump on board since then. But Cryptochart's unique because it's simpler, it's cost effective, and it's powerful, because the cloud and the method that we use in our software to get to and from the cloud, image size is no longer an issue, and number of slices is no longer an issue, speed is no longer an issue. Cryptochart is for everybody. Everybody needs it, and it's going to make everybody's life a little bit simpler.
All right, that's really interesting, and I see it kind of as part of this big trend, and it's interesting, on my side, and I promise I won't talk about myself too much in your interview, but we, in early August, we launched our second newsletter, and it focuses on kind of the patient engagement side of healthcare software. So it's called the Digital Health Wire, and I did a lot of research before we launched the newsletter, and even after that, I was blown away by how increasingly connected patients are to their healthcare information. And it's a important trend within radiology, but we're kind of in this radiology bubble. What I didn't realize is it's one of the biggest trends in all of healthcare, which puts a lot of responsibility on kind of radiology to, one, make sure they're sharing information with the clinicians so that they can make the right decisions in the right ways, but then also keep up with this demand, which I think probably a lot of people in radiology have underestimated how much patients really need to want to be connected to their healthcare, and how much they're getting it from other parts of medicine. So that kind of creates, a problem, but also opportunity. And I was hoping you could talk maybe a little bit about how radiology can keep up with this, what might be a really big trend.
Yeah, well, that kind of leads us to, patient engagement. You're right. Patient engagement is huge, and it's so different today. People want the information now, and they want more information, and they want it on their phone. Cryptochart does exactly that. It lets them see your images and reports as soon as they walk out of the imaging center or hospital, and that's what it's coming to. Now they have customer portals are a big thing now, but you can't always see everything on your phone with the customer portal, but I think it's going to get to that. A lot of people want to do Zoom meetings and web meetings, and with all that, they need to be able to see the images right then and there. But adoption is a big, this kind of leads to adoption, because will the industry adopt something like this? And patient engagement is huge. The mobile devices are huge, but people are slow to change, right? And so will they move to something like this, and will CD DVDs go totally away? And I think they will. Adoption is kind of a two-pronged challenge. First, you have the hospitals and referring physicians with all their firewalls and IT departments. Will they adopt something like this? I think having some competition has helped, because now more and more companies are pushing products that use QR codes. And for us, it's been pretty decent so far. We've had to create some educational materials that our customers can hand to a hospital or a doctor's office that show how to use it and why it's secure and how it is so secure. I mean, some people wonder about the security. Well, you're carrying around a QR code. What if you drop it on the floor in the parking lot? Someone can pick it up and get your images. Well, what if you leave your CD on, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
It's very secure. A QR code is super secure. It's encrypted. And once you've given the images to the patient, they can do what they want with them. So I don't think 100% of CD burning is going to be eliminated right away, but I think eventually it will. The other part of adoption is radiology departments being willing to not burn CDs, to use Cryptochart QR codes and print them off at the desk, hand to the patient on the way out. Rad techs don't love burning CDs, so I think that adoption is going to be super easy. Basically, they download the software from the website, they route studies to it, Cryptochart does the rest. It's very simple. We give them a printout when they print out the barcode that has instructions for the patient on what to do. So adoption is going pretty well so far, and I think it's going to really escalate in the next year and be very easily adopted. I think people can see that with the new patient engagement models of today, they need to have tools like this. There's just no other way they can do it.
Right. That makes sense. And, I've used, with COVID and what's happened with menus, I've used bar charts probably like 5 times in the last month, or bar QR codes 5 times in the last month. And
Yep.
I literally don't know if I've used a CD or DVD in the last 2 years. So,
right. And I went to my oral surgeon, and he took a CD and gave me a DVD. And I showed them Cryptochart at the desk, and they go, "This is awesome. We need this." So anyway, we have a lot of customers still using DVDs and CDs.
Right. And that kind of brings us back to that. I mean, to be honest with you, it seems like, and we started this conversation, you talking about how radiology has to be technology forward.
Yes.
But I'd wager to say that this kind of CD, DVD dynamic puts them behind almost all other areas of technology adoption. That they're, every DVD store, every Blockbuster in my neighborhood is shut down. My neighborhood one is now a paint store, and I no longer hang out at the record store, right? Or if I do, it's because there's LPs there. So it actually does feel like this is an area that the industry is ready to catch up, especially we consider that the patients are ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a thing? What is the thing that makes that change happen?
Well, just what you're talking about there. I mean, if you take a DVD or CD home from the doctor's office and you want to look at it, you're going to have to pull out your 10-year-old laptop out of the closet. That may not work. I mean, this industry is definitely behind. Still using so many DVDs and CDs. It's behind. I think it's just going to change because it has to. I mean, like I say, everybody we show it to, they love it. Everybody realizes, yes, DVDs are going out. I think, personally, I think that you will see in not too long a time, just a few years, DVDs won't be a thing anymore in healthcare. People won't use the patient CD. Right. And also today, we made Cryptochart for radiology images and reports mainly, but we actually designed it to be for a lot more than radiology. I think when, people are using customer portals now, right? And so I think what will happen eventually is a customer portal will be linked to something like Cryptochart, and they will immediately get the images on the Cryptochart, but it won't be just for radiology. It'll be for like EKG, photos, charts, and graphs that relate to the patient. And eventually it may even be for EMR data where they don't have a customer portal. I think the days of any type of information for the patient being anywhere but the cloud are not too far away. So,
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, secure cloud is where it's at. So
wonderful. Secure cloud is where it's at, and sometimes you just have to evolve because you have to, as you said earlier. So thank you very much, Paul. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and it's really neat to see what you guys have done to help kind of push this change along, understanding that it seems like patients and physicians are ready.
Yep.
Great. Well, thank you, and thanks everybody for joining us, and take care till next time.
Thank you, Jake.